My goal for this video is to kill the Ender Dragon, kill the Wither, and lastly get fully enchanted netherite armor and netherite tools. I will obviously be doing other things, but these are my 3 main goals. So let's get right into it. As soon as I spawned in, I noticed I was in a snow biome, and I was immediately terrified of falling into powdered snow. But I overcame my fear, and I started punching a tree. After getting wood, I started to gather food because, you can actually starve to death in hardcore. I soon then found out that I was on an island. Although it was super cool, it does limit the amount of resources you can get. So I was going to upgrade my tools and get as much food as possible and then leave the island. And I did just that. I got an iron pickaxe, a shield, and a bucket. I explored the island a little bit more, got some more resources, and then I was off to explore. I found a ruined nether portal, although it didn't have anything inside the chest. It was the beginning of the second day and I was still exploring and getting food. I started getting sugarcane because I knew it would be important if I wanted to get an enchantment table later. I found another ruined nether portal, but it had even worse loot than the last time. It was becoming the second night and I still haven't found anywhere where I wanted to live. But luck struck when I finally found a village up on this hill. There wasn't a blacksmith, but there was definitely some stuff that I could take from the village. At the beginning of the third day, I found another village. Again, it didn't have too much inside of it, but it had some apples. I found a third village, and not too far, I found a pillager outpost, so I thought this would be a great raid village, possibly. After sleeping the night, I finally found where I wanted to have my humble abode. It was right here in a flat plains biome. I was exploring the ocean around me and I found a sunken ship, and it ended up having a treasure map inside of it. It was near the pillager outpost where the treasure was, and the treasure had a decent amount of loot. With that, I made some armor. For the rest of the day, I cleared out my land a little bit, and then I slept the night away. In the morning of day 5, I planted sugarcane. In the middle of day 5, this homie pulled up and I then started to fill in more areas so I could plant more crops. Planted some wheat and potatoes. Then I went to sleep. In the morning I went mining. I didn't want to mine, so I looked for a cave. Didn't find a cave, so I went to the villager outpost and got the loot from there. I then went back to my base to sleep the night away. In the morning of day 7, I found a cave. It had a ton of stuff in it, a lot of cave spiders, but I was still looking for diamonds. Then I finally found some mining some lapis. I found a vein of 4, then a vein of 1, then a vein of 2, and another vein of 2. After that, I headed to the surface to return home and then look at my glorious chest of resources. Then I found an ocean ruin. Inside the ocean ruin, I found a treasure map. So I looked for the treasure map and got a good amount of iron in a heart of the sea. Then later through the day, I just kept on mining and found more diamonds. And now it was up to 18 diamonds a total. Then I slept to the morning of day 10 and I cleared out the forest around me. But later in the day, I set my tracks to go to the nether. And as soon as I lit the portal and went into the nether, I built a little fortress around my portal, so if a gas shot at it, my portal wouldn't break. When I returned to the overworld, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, it had ended up being day 13 somehow. Don't know where I lost 3 days, but I made a cow pen, and don't worry, I'll maybe use this once or twice. The rest of the day, I spent torching my area and flattening it out. Day 14, I made bookshelves. Jesus, that's all I did today. Day 15, I made an enchantment table with bookshelves, got fortune 3 on my diamond pick, and then I went to the nether and traded with the hoglin, and I got 8 ender pearls. Day 16, I tested out the new fortune pick, got 21 diamonds out of 8, made full diamond armor. I checked on my potatoes, and then the night of day 16, I went and got a lot of coal. That was my main priority, but I also found a zombie spawner on the side of a mountain. I got about 6 stacks of coal, and I got prop 4 leggings. Then I slept to day 17. On day 17, we went to the nether roof, and then later we broke the bedrock so we could access the actual nether. I do this because it makes it easier to traverse the nether. Day 18-19, I just spent cutting down trees. Day 20-21, I spent getting obsidian and setting up nether portals to the village. Day 22, I actually built the nether portals and made an area for my test subjects. Day 23, I kidnapped my test subjects. I bribed him with emeralds to go through the nether portal. This is him on the nether roof, and I trapped him in his hole. I then captured another test subject, put him in the hole, and they both decided they wanted to be in the boat together. I then gave them some bread mixed with Viagra. That made them really want to have a kid. I don't know how they have a kid in like 20 minutes, but nevertheless, I went mining and I immediately found diamonds, which was kind of nice. Day 25, I found a nether fortress a couple days before, so I wanted to go there and find the nether fortress and connect it to the nether roof. And as soon as I fell down, I noticed I was right in front of the blaze spawner right to my right, and I got a couple blazes before I left. Day 26, I noticed my test subjects were having a family now, and at night I went to go search for the stronghold. I had my eyes ender, obviously, then I mined down and found the stronghold. And after what felt like an hour of searching, I found the portal. Then I built a nether portal to the nether roof. Then I built out of the stronghold and started to head home. When I arrived home, I immediately headed to the nether so I could build the nether portals to connect with each other. When I tried to sleep, this boy woke me up. Started day 29, I made chests for whatever reason. Later in the day, day 29, I went mining in this big ass cave. There was a ton of diamonds, ton of gold, ton of iron, pretty much everything that I needed, and I didn't even finish mining it. Day 30, I finished up mining and I headed back to base. When I got back to base, that little boy actually almost killed me. I was pretty low health, 2.5 hearts. I got prot 4 on my chest plate. Then I broke the bedrock that is above the nether fortress. I then started collecting materials for a auto melon and pumpkin farm. As you can see, I need a lot of observers and pistons. I still needed a little bit more gold for the powered rails I needed. So that's why I'm in the nether. Day 33, I started construction on one of the farms. You see me meticulously putting down rails for the collection system. Here I actually ended up with more rails than I needed, but then I realized I've constructed it wrong. Here I'm putting down pistons above the dirt blocks so when the melons and pumpkins spawn that they break the blocks. So this is the process I did for every melon. No, we're not on the melons yet, we're on the pumpkins. That's the process I did for every pumpkin. This is me filling in the glass on the sides so you can get a good angle of how it looks. Now we're building the melon farm. Obviously it's the same process as the pumpkin farm, as they are pretty much coded the same exact way. But yeah, we're still repeating the same process, placing the pistons, placing the glass, and tilting the dirt so we can place down melon seeds. I'm just finishing up here, adding final decorations, filling in the roof. Day 38, I was in the nether trying to get ender pearls. Can't get them like Dream does, so I didn't get any. But I did get a prot 4 diamond helmet. Day 39, I started construction, and not really construction, but started gathering resources for my new project. I was going to build a villager trading hall, but real quick, I wanted to make a dock because I thought it would look cool. We got some barrels that are holding the dock up. I think it looks pretty nice. Day 41, I started gathering dark oak wood because I was going to need a lot of it for my trading hall for the design I wanted to do, and I also needed a lot of stone brick. The trading hall was going to need a lot of resources because of how big I was going to make it. I was going to need to do some terraforming on the back side of this little hill because I wanted to make the building so large. I started off with building the staircase so I could get an idea of where the second floor was going to start. I get a little floor plan for the second floor and I start digging out the ground just so I could start getting stuff placed onto the building. After a couple days work, this is where I was at with the building. Little zombie was trying to hide out, but this is the progress I've had so far with a couple days of work. I started adding more details like where the villagers were going to stand at in their little stalls, adding detail to the floor, and I wanted to make a little cool entranceway. I'm not quite finished it with it yet, but it looks nice. I got some sand because I wanted to make a glass front of the building, and I got some squid so I can get some black dye. The last couple days I was just adding some finishing touches, and I really like how the front came out, to be honest. I ran out of stone, so I had to go mine more stone. This is what I'm doing with the stone I just mined. And I ran out of wood, so I had to get more wood. And here's what I'm doing with the wood. I'm starting to add the roof. I slabbed the roof so nothing would spawn on top of the roof. Here's me putting the last couple blocks. Now I wanted to start moving the villagers from their little hole into the actual trading hall. Here was the first guy. He got a little hurt, not gonna lie. But I was just trying to get mending, and that's what I finally got with this guy. It was at this moment where I realized how dumb villagers are and how broken their mechanics are. He just phased through a wall. Like, what do you want me to do with that? With the second guy, I just said, screw it. I want to get a silk touch pickaxe, and I'm gonna go hunt some beehives. With the beehives, I was going to make honey blocks, and I was going to have them sit on honey blocks. Because apparently if they're standing on honey blocks, they're not able to move. But yeah.
Huh? You lied to me.
Anyways, the last enchantment I wanted to get was feather falling. Got it. I went to the stronghold and got all the books from the library. Then I headed to the nether to get gold so I could trade with piglins. I got scammed like usual, you know. Then I got some more blaze rods because my blaze rods magically disappeared. Day 58, I was gonna start trying to trade with the villagers because my luck with the piglins were absolutely terrible. So I got all my ender pearls from the cleric and I was off to fight the ender dragon. I had all my enchantments I wanted, and here we go. Let's all be real, this boss fight's not that hard. I was only a little concerned about this boss fight because of a previous run that I had for 100 days. I got flung up into the air and then I couldn't water bucket clutch because, you know, I'm kind of beta at this game, but we beat the ender dragon here, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm kind of excited that I killed the homie. But anyways, yeah, I got the egg, you know, we always got to get the egg. Then I enchanted another set of boots and I got prop 4 on them, so I combined my prop 4 boots with my original boots. I only had feather falling, and I also got a sharpness 4 diamond sword as well, which is kind of nice. Anyways, back to the grind. On day 60, I got a cheaper mending book for only 16 emeralds. It says 27, but I accidentally punched the little boy. And on day 61, I tried to go mining for netherite, but I ended up finding a lava pool right where I was trying to mine. So I tried to keep going through the lava pool, but it ended up not just working out at all. So I ended up finding a different area, and I started mining for a little bit. It took me quite a while to find my first netherite, but I found my first netherite, which was kind of a nice feeling. Got my second netherite. I end up getting another piece of netherite, my third piece of the trip, and I get a fourth piece of netherite, and I end up getting 5 in total. And when I head back to the overworld to get my first netherite item, I decided to go with the pickaxe since it's the item I'm using most of the time. Day 64, I tried to get wither skulls. Couldn't really find too many withers, so on day 65, I headed to the end. And after only about 10 minutes of exploring, I immediately found an end city with a boat, which obviously has the elytra. Before I went there, I got a couple other things. I killed a couple shulkers to get 5 shulker boxes total. In the ship, I obviously got an elytra and a couple diamond armor pieces, and I also got the dragon's head. Day 66, I started my return home because, you know, the end's a big place. Threw my pearl through the portal, and when I returned home, I made 5 shulker boxes. On day 67, I started to clear out some areas so I can make an auto potato and auto carrot farm. I do this by using villagers as people farming the land, kind of like how Bloons Tower Defense does it. Day 68, I head back to the mine that I mined at on day 30. I found some diamonds. To be honest, I'm not really sure. I had a ton of resources already, and I started to return home on day 69 and got home on day 70. I failed at bone mealing carrots, the easiest thing on earth. And then I started construction at night on day 70 on the carrot and potato farm. I built up the 2 little shelters I have for the villagers, and on day 71 I started to plant all the crops for the villagers. And later in the day I started the transportation for the villagers to get into their little areas. This was easily the most annoying part because they would jump out of their little boxes. Thank God that one jumped into the thing. And that one actually walked straight into the hole where he's supposed to stand, which is kind of nice. And on day 72, I started gathering resources for an auto sugarcane farm. The entirety of day 73 was spent getting resources for the sugarcane farm. I spent getting sand and stone for the components I was going to need for the farm. I tore down the sugarcane because I was never going to farm it from there ever again. And then I got the remaining building blocks at the end of day 73. Day 74, I started construction on the sugarcane farm. Honestly, it's a pretty easy farm to build. All you got to do is make a little railway for the collection system, place sand on top of it for the sugarcane to grow, waterlog some stairs so you can have water for the sugarcane to grow. And yeah, the rest is pretty self-explanatory. Day 75, I went to go check up on my farms to make sure they were working. My potatoes were growing, which was kind of nice. But now I wanted to start on my next automated farm, the iron farm. The iron farm is actually relatively cheap. You just need a couple villagers. And what I'm doing right now is just clearing out some space and adding some more space to my base so I can have more space to build this iron farm. As you can see, I was rolling making this thing. I was making it really fast. And obviously the hardest part of building this thing was actually just getting the villagers in there, which really isn't that hard, but it can be a little stressful sometimes when they don't cooperate. Anyways, I get my last villager in there that I needed. You only need 3. And then I need to get a name tag for the zombie. And yeah, something dead. Nice dead name would be good. So I got a really good name for the zombie. And yeah, he's gonna be sitting there. He's gonna be scaring the villagers, and that's what it's gonna cause the iron golems to spawn. I checked the morning of day 78, and it was already making iron, which was a great thing to hear. At the end of day 78, I got my last armor piece with mending on it. Day 79, I spent the entirety of the day getting wood because I was finally gonna go build my house. Yeah, 79 days in, I decided that, you know, maybe it's time. But day 80, I spent a little bit more time getting wood, and I also got slime, which actually was completely useless for what I wanted to actually use. I needed bamboo for scaffolding, not slime. I don't know why I thought I needed slime for scaffolding, but I had to go a long way to get this bamboo, not gonna lie. So there we go, I got my scaffolding I needed for the house. Then I decided to make the dock a block wider so it would be symmetrical with the house that I was gonna make. And I also did the same thing with the nether portal. And at the end of day 82, I started laying down the foundations for the house. And day 83, I was putting on the roof of the house, and I was really making big progress on the house already. I cleared out a little space in the front just so it wasn't against the grass that was in front of the house. Built a little chimney so the house wouldn't catch on fire. And day 84, I was just adding a few more decorations. That's how the interior of the house looked like. This is what the upstairs looks like, and these are the final blocks that I was placing. So this is how the front of the building looks like. I think it looks pretty nice. I think it's like a cozy house. It's not too crazy. I'm not going for like a mega mansion or anything. For the rest of day 84, day 85, and day 86, I spent getting netherite so I could get a ton of netherite scraps for my netherite armor. I think I ended up getting 6 ingots in total. Obviously, I spent 4 of them getting my armor upgraded to netherite, and then 1 for the sword. And then lastly, I couldn't decide which one I wanted, what last tool I wanted to do. But you know, there was a special achievement that I think, you know, all of us would do if we were in the right mindset. Anyways, day 88, I was back in the nether because I was searching for another nether fortress because my other nether fortress that I had did not spawn enough wither skeletons for it to be like efficient, you know, to stay there and get like 3 wither skeletons to spawn, you know, every like 20 minutes. But I connected the new nether fortress to the nether roof, and I was getting my wither heads really fast. I got all 3 of my heads probably within 15 minutes or so, and then I was off to fight the wither, which is obviously a piece of cake fight. It helped that I had a smite forward sword. If you didn't know, smite is really effective against the wither, and obviously this fight isn't as hard as it is in bedrock version. So I obviously get the nether star, and I start building an area where I want to have a little hub area for the nether portal and the beacon, but I also wanted it to be a little symmetrical, like a 3x3 area. Day 91 I spent trying to get a ton of emeralds, but then I realized I was probably not going to get a full beacon using just emeralds. So I ended up just starting to move villagers into the trading hall so I could fill up the area. Rip to the homie Bob. You know, you hate to see it. Happens once in a while. And I continue to do this for day 93, 94. I get 1 in there. The iron golem got in my way the one time. It was kind of annoying. And I got 4 more in there, which is kind of nice. I ended up getting a respiration book, a depth strider book, a looting book, a sharpness 5 book, and lastly, a Fire Aspect 2 book. Day 97, I started to collect resources for a storage system. Unfortunately, I wasn't going to have enough time to finish it, but I continued to get the resources for it later. Look at this sweet park job. Oh. Day 99, I planted some cocoa beans on this jungle wood because I thought it would look nice. But for the final day of the video, I was going to do something extravagant, you know, something large. I was going to build the beacon. I was going to build it completely with iron. You know, I ran out of iron, so I had to use the last few blocks with emeralds, and there we have it. We have a speed 2 beacon at my base. And if you haven't already, please go drop a like on the video. This video took me a long time to edit. It actually probably took me longer to edit than it took me to play the game, but I really would appreciate if you did that. And for the final time of this video, I go to sleep. And now I have survived 100 days of hardcore Minecraft. And if you want to see me continue this world, I'm going to be streaming this world on my channel. So drop a sub and come by onto my live streams. Until then, I'll see y'all later.